The worst thing for your sex life is to not communicate your desires. And it sounds like, oh, that's no big deal. But I think it's a really big deal. When you don't communicate your needs, desires, boundaries, when you don't communicate in general for your own sexuality, you're not standing up for yourself. Girl, gotta have my little purse. You never know what I have in here.
You never know. Welcome to. I feel like.
Ooh, I gotta
I would say this is what my vagina would look like, but it's not.
This is not graceful.
I know. This is how I do it.
Ooh.
Bring that mic in.
Get in my mouth.
Get it in. Well, before we jump into it, hello, I'm Jade Catapretta, and this is The Stir Up, a podcast brought to you by O Positiv, where we stir shit up. I'm here with sex and relationship expert, Dr. Tara. Very excited to have you here. Welcome to my stirrups.
Thank you
for sharing all your expertise with you. I want to break it down. I don't even know where to start. I'm like so excited.
Me neither.
When I was young, I was really into having sex, and now that I'm older, I just am into talking about sex.
Yeah.
Like I just love talking about it. My comedy is mostly about sex.
Yeah.
And I love it because it's such a thing that we all do, but it's so taboo.
I think it's called the 40 shift.
The 40 shift?
Yeah.
Is that a thing?
Yeah. Well, a lot of women that are in their 40s love like talking about sex when they're not having sex.
Yeah. Like I'm still having it on an average, you know? I'm not like, I used to be a little feral bunny, but I just love when people educate themselves on it and talk about it freely. Like I honestly, one of my biggest dislikes is when people are very like, oh, sex, like very taboo about sex. I'm like, get over it. Like we all have it.
It's why you're here.
It's why we're here. We were made from sex.
Exactly.
How did you get into being a sex expert?
Just really good at it.
I can tell. You look spry. I feel like you're very flexible.
I actually got into it from studying relationships. So back in when I started my graduate program, in my master's program, I started studying intercultural relationships because I was in one. And I was just interested in like how to have the most like successful intercultural relationships. And as I started studying intercultural relationship further, I learned that there is one universal global issue that everyone experiences at some point in their lives, and it's a sex issue. So
the sex just in general, like
in general,
everything
like
around sex.
anything and everything, your sexuality, everything from like your body, everything from sex related to your mental health, physical health, psychological health, emotional health, relationship, communication. So people will have a sex issue at some point in their lives. And I think at that moment, I just thought like, ding, 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 I want to be a part of a solution to such a big problem, big universal problem.
Yeah, I feel like if more people were having sex, a lot more people would be chill. Like you see these trolls online and I'm like, oh, just come. Like you would be so much happier.
You should make that t-shirt.
I should, right?
Just come. Sell it on Reddit because that's where they're at.
And then the C is like a little like a Nike. You know, like
like just do it. Yeah, I was gonna say like make one of them like a joystick because they all game.
Oh, I love
like,
that.
Gaming bros. They don't.
We might have to start a business after this.
Yeah.
So then, do you work like specifically with couples and like helping them communicate? Like what like lead me through a day in the life.
Ooh, a day in a life.
Yeah.
I wear 4 hats. My 5th one is coming though, so I'm gonna share. This is gonna be my like very first time sharing.
Okay.
But my first hat is as a tenure professor. So I'm a professor at Cal State University Fullerton. I teach my own class called Sexual Communication, where I take students from the very beginning of sexuality, which is their sexual debut, to the end of life, basically, like being elderly and having sex.
Yeah.
So it goes through the whole thing and communication before sex, during sex, after sex, sex and technology, sex in the future, non-traditional sexual behaviors and non-traditional sexual attitudes, everything. So I teach that class, and I teach Monday, Wednesday. Just
roll through
that's just
if you
my
guys
life,
are around.
I'm very literal. I'm a Virgo because you're like, walk me through.
No,
the
I
day.
like
I'm
it. So Monday
Wednesdays, I
you're a
teach
teacher.
all day.
Okay.
I teach 4 classes back to back.
Wow, it's giving professor. I love it.
It is very professory life. My second hat is a content creator. So I make content on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. I love doing it. I have my podcast, Love Bites, for several years now. I spend every single day talking about sex and making content about sex. So to move forward the causes of sex positivity and comprehensive sex education. And my third hat, I'm running out of breath.
You're tired. Yeah.
My third hat, I'm a tired girl.
Sit back.
When do I have
syrups.
sex?
Yeah.
My third hat is I own a private practice here in Los Angeles. It used to be in downtown LA, but now I'm in Manhattan Beach. So
fancy.
I moved my
Moving on
private
up.
I moved my private practice there. I help couples, individuals, but mainly couples. I would say 80% couples, 20% individuals. Basically on any kind of sex issue that they have, because it's very it varies so much. And then my fourth hat, it doesn't end.
It doesn't end.
Does not end. My fourth hat is a media personality. So I'm a co-host on a TV show called Celebs Go Dating. That's a very popular show in the UK. It's on season 13.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's really crazy. Season 13.
That's wild. You don't get
watching
past
people
one.
going on dates, but you never know. And then my fifth hat that I'm going to share about is, have you ever heard of the show called Loveline?
Of course. I work with Dr. Drew.
So they're bringing it back.
Stop.
And guess who's the host?
No, you?
No, me.
That's very exciting.
So I'll be the co-host of Loveline.
That's very exciting.
Next week.
That's so exciting. Congrats.
Thank you.
I think the most interesting thing to me is like how we miscommunicate in relationships about sex, right? So like maybe starting at like would a lot of couples come to you being like, we're not having enough sex? Like what's the number one issue that you're seeing in America right now with that?
We need to break that into different demographics, because different demographics have their own issue. So if you're thinking the number one issue for long-term couples, that's going to be mismatched libidos.
Interesting. Like the men want to have sex more or vice versa?
Statistically, if we're talking about heterosexual relationship, it's the men wanting more sex than the woman in the relationship. But you will also see some outliers where the wife or the woman partner wants more sex and doesn't feel desired by the husband or the male partner. So you see that too. But all in all, it's all about communication and compromising. And we can also talk the play-by-play of that as well. But basically, it's not a huge problem at all after I walk the couples through like certain protocols of how to use communication to solve that problem.
Yeah, and I feel like a big thing in our society is like it all starts with education, right? Or lack of education. Just like what's something that you see in a lot of people where they're like misinformed or like they never learned about something specific? Is there something that keeps coming up? Like, I think for me, like I was kind of in the closet always, like just because there was no lesbians around, you know? Like, I mean, I was definitely like wanting to hang out with my girlfriends more than I wanted to hang out with my guy friends. But like, I never had like examples in the media. Like I knew I didn't want to be Ellen DeGeneres, you know what I mean? So like there was no other examples.
I don't think anyone wants to be
Some
Ellen.
people wanted.
Sorry,
back
Ellen.
in the day. But I think like, do you see people in the closet? Like what's one thing that you really kind of see like lack of education? Like, I mean, obviously STDs, people not knowing about STDs, like people not knowing about pregnancy. Like what's one thing that keeps coming up for you?
So I teach Gen Zs for a living, right? I teach at a college level.
Yeah.
And so every day I interact with them and I learn more and more about what they find interesting, surprising, shocking. And I would say what is very popular to talk about nowadays, where they didn't know before, was that your sexual orientation and your romantic orientation are separate.
Tell me more.
So today I was just teaching my students about how, I have a client, a male client who came out to his wife that he's gay, that he's attracted to men and he's sexually attracted to men. He wants to try having sex with men. She's heartbroken. They came into my practice. They want to talk through this. Like, what is going on?
She still wants to be with him.
So after the last 10 years, did he not love me? What's going on? I had to explain to them that it is possible that he's bi-romantic, but homosexual.
Whoa.
So maybe he's not sexually attracted to you and has never been sexually attracted to women, but he is romantically attracted to you. After doing some tests, we learn that he is indeed
what does the test? You just show them like pictures of hot men and he's like, oh,
penis, vagina.
And he's like,
no, it's a whole assessment. Like you have assessment for romantic orientation and sexual orientation. And he's biromantic. So he's completely in love with you. He wants to take care of you, want to be in a relationship with you. He's just not sexually attracted to you. And that's okay.
But that's hard, right? Because so much validation, you know?
It's a whole myth about romantic relationship being like everything. Like sometimes it's a very loving, friendship-based romantic relationship. So at the end of the day, it's quite a happy ending because once they were able to, come to terms with the differences between sexual orientation and romantic orientation, she realizes, okay, like he does love me. He's biromantic. He's homosexual. So now they're together, still married, still live in the same house, have sex with other people, but are married in a very loving relationship. I was going to ask if she gets
to have sex with other people too.
Does.
And so it's open. Yeah. I feel like, relationships aren't the way they used to be. Like there's so much room for like so many different shapes and it's all about communication, right? I feel like my friends who are like poly, they talk non-fucking stop. They're always talking about it. I'm like, it's not the same, Kind
of like being vegan.
It's true. It's like they want to talk about it all the time. When do you think sex is taboo?
When?
Yeah, like in what situations?
When it's illegal. That's the only situation that's taboo.
Yeah.
Nothing else is taboo to me. Yeah. Like you like eating shit, go for it.
Yeah.
you wanna.
I never feel weird about talking about it. I feel like when people are like so shocked, I'm like, suck it up.
No. There's no taboo for me unless it's illegal, of course, then that's a no-go.
Yeah, no thanks.
Yeah.
I mean, on the weekends. What is the best and worst thing you can do for your sex life? These are big questions.
Yeah.
What is the best thing?
You like big things?
Yeah, like just being happy, I guess, like being healthy, like good vaginal health, good brain health. Like, what is the worst thing for a sex life?
The worst thing for your sex life is to not communicate your desires. And it sounds like, oh, that's no big deal. But I think it's a really big deal. When you don't communicate your needs, desires, boundaries, when you don't communicate in general for your own sexuality, you're not standing up for yourself.
Yeah.
And when you're not standing up for yourself, what you tell to your brain is you're wiring your brain to think that you have low self-esteem, that you have low sexual self-esteem, that you don't have high worth, right? Because self-esteem is all about believing that you're worthy. So when you have low sexual self-esteem, it means you're not worthy of pleasure and connection.
And having the things that you actually want.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if you're not communicating, you're consistently telling your brain that, oh, I don't need that. I don't need to be
I don't deserve
served.
that.
I don't deserve that.
And then over time, you don't come because it's harder to come,
over time,
right?
you just have very low sexual self-esteem and you have a terrible sex life.
That's so crazy. Like my last relationship, I've always been like bi a little bit, a little bit gay. And now
Just
I'm
a
like
little
all the way gay. I've been baptized. Rosie O'Donnell just showed up.
Bye,
and shoved my face into a
heterosexual.
pussy. I'm like, but I would find myself like thinking about eating a vagina out all the time. It like started to take over my brain. Like that's all I could think about in a kind of an unhealthy way. Like, and when I was having
the vulva.
Yeah, like when I was having sex, I would just literally think about like a vagina in my head. And so I feel like when I finally like got to have my face in a vagina, it was like this self-fulfilling, like it made everything make sense in my regular life. Like I stepped into myself. Yeah. I stepped into myself in so many ways that I didn't see, like self-worth. It was something that I felt really changed. Like just even my personality, like I'm so much more grounded now that my face is in a vagina.
Because you're comfortable with yourself.
Yeah.
Before you weren't comfortable with yourself.
Exactly.
Now you're comfortable, you get to do what you want, you get to live your truth.
Yeah.
All of that matters so much in like a person's life satisfaction.
Yeah.
So yeah, good for you.
Thank you.
That face in the vulva.
I know, I love it. I like that you say vulva too. It's because it's it almost sounds like vulgar, but it's like but it's not, it's like the fanciest way.
I'm assuming that you're licking the whole thing and not just the hole.
No.
So
sometimes I just
are you licking the whole thing?
I'm licking the whole thing.
You're licking the clit, the mons.
I'm licking the labia. I go all the way to the mound. All the lips.
Yeah. So you're licking the vulva.
Yeah, I'm eating the whole meal. I'm not going to leave a drop.
Not just the dessert.
No, I'm going to eat it all.
Yeah.
Do you work with a lot of women who are like have not been with women and want to be with women? Is that a thing that you do?
Yeah. I would say what comes to my mind is like two of my clients that were transitioning from mainly heterosexual to bisexual and pansexual, not really knowing specifically what their attraction truly is yet, but we're just like working through it. And I always assure them there is no timeline. Take like 10 years.
It took me a while. Like I was bad in bed. Like I look back at all these hot girls that I fucked and I was like, wait, I swear I'm good now. Like come back, you know?
How are you bad? Like, why do you say that?
You know, because I think I just waited for someone to sort of like dominate me because I felt like I was a little bit submissive in like hetero relationships.
An active participant.
Yeah, I was more active like with men because I felt more comfortable, but I felt like I was always waiting for like some lesbian to put me against the wall and finger me, you know? And I was like, and it never happened. So then I was like, I have to be the daddy. Like, and once I became the daddy, it like changed my I told you, like my entire personality.
You have short nails now.
I do. Now I have like, these are my dicks, you know?
Yeah.
I know. Thank you for noticing.
That's the lesbian power move.
It's true. Like
if I meet a lesbian with long nails, I question it.
I do too. It's like in a porn when they have long nails. I'm like, this can't be right. But like, you know, it took me a long time to sort of feel things out, like, you know, and touch certain parts. And like, I still sometimes feel nervous. And there is some mysteries to me. Can we talk about like the number one mystery in sex that everyone wants to talk about? And you know, and you know what it is.
Squirting.
I wish that somebody came through here with a little napkin. Yeah, but like I want to get down to it because I've now experienced squirting with women and
through fingering because it's so much easier.
Yeah. But I've never been able to. Is that something that can be self-taught?
Yeah.
Tell me everything, details. Everybody leave.
We all have the anatomy.
Okay.
So we have the parts, but from research and from my professional experience and personal experience, a lot of times when women can't squirt, it's because of their mental block. It's not the physical issue or their anatomy. Like we all have the same parts.
It's about releasing.
It's about releasing. It's about breath control. It's about not having the mental block, being afraid that you'll like also like shit or fart at the same time because that happens. Happened to me like a few times. My husband's like, whoa.
Wait, both?
I'm like, it's a gift.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Yeah, because you're just releasing so much. Well, you're just like opening everything out. Yeah.
Like sometimes if you're gassy, you're going to like push out everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like, you're welcome.
Yeah. I love that power.
I'm gifting you my authenticity.
Yeah. No, because it is hard. I think as women, like with men for a long time, we have to be like, we're always worried, like, does our pussy taste good? Or like, does our vagina taste good? Like,
because
is it okay?
Because of that myth of like the vulva needs to taste like strawberries.
Right.
Like,
yeah, even on the bad days with my girlfriend, I'm like, I love this. Like, there's nothing that's going to sway me away, you know? I know it's love.
You're such a lover girl.
I know, I am. I'm so in love. And she'll kill me.
How long have you been in a relationship?
A year and a couple months.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's very early days. And she's actually very prudish and British, and I'm Brazilian. So I'm like...
She's British.
She's British. So I'm the first girl she's ever held hands with in public.
Oh.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
And I'm like used to like being very like in public. So it's just such an interesting dynamic to like
I love that,
feel that the yin yang of it all.
Yeah.
How were you raised?
I was raised very conservatively. I was raised in Thailand, in Bangkok, and despite Hollywood movies portraying Thailand being super sexual and open, and there's movies highlight a lot of sex tourism in which like Thai people don't really like to highlight.
Yeah.
Thai culture for Thai people is very conservative in every way, including being sexually repressive, particularly for women. Because for men, you can be in college and you can be going to like bath houses where you get, where like a beautiful woman and you pick in a room, like a glass window room, you pick a woman, she comes out, gives you a bath, and then jerks you off, then you get to go home smiling.
And there needs to be something for women like that.
The part of like the culture. Like there's so many of those places, so many.
I want to go sit and have a massage and just have someone eat me out from this situation
like,
while
why
I'm getting a massage.
Why? Why? Why not?
Yeah. And we never even know who it is.
Or
why not?
I like that. Is that your fantasy?
I would.
Are you
kinda
sharing
like
your
that.
sexual fantasy?
I feel like it's not like a fantasy. I think it's like a business venture that I think, because I remember before
you think
the pandemic.
of everything in
Thank you.
business terms.
Yeah, because
Are you
we
a
just had
Capricorn?
an entrepreneur, and I'm like, maybe I need to quit comedy.
What's your sign?
I'm a Pisces.
Oh,
I'm on the
really?
cusp of
Really?
Aquarius and Pisces.
Wow. Yeah, like the way I grew up, I would say really is a catalyst to where I am today, because I was so sexually repressed that I want to undo everything and I want to help as many people as possible.
I think repression is actually really, really dangerous. I think it makes people kind of go nuts. Like, I dated a guy who he got caught grinding his neighbor, like when he was like 11. And then his mom made it say at a church. And then he was like shamed.
No.
So I think it's like really dangerous when people sex shame kids when they're young, because then it becomes this weird repression. And then I think that comes out in anger and like weird shit. And then like weird porn and like, like weird abusive stuff. But what are some tips for some people who are like, want to step outside a little bit of their comfort zone and want to try some things that they're maybe scared to do? Like, what are the first steps?
Trying non-traditional sex.
Okay,
That's
tell
what
me
you're
more.
talking about, right?
Yeah.
It's for people that are curious to step outside the vanilla zone.
Yeah, or maybe they just like even feel nervous about sex in general, or maybe they're like embarrassed because they're virgins and they're a little older. Like, what's the first step? Like getting comfortable with your own body, perhaps, like making out with yourself in the mirror. Like, do you have?
Love that. Is that what you do?
I don't do that, but sometimes I put on some
Can you
candles and I just
show?
look at my vagina in the mirror and I go, yeah.
I do that. That's
Yeah.
the first exercise that I give all my students first day of class. Is I want you to get a mirror and look at your genital. Like men too, I want you to look at your balls, like flip it over, like look at your butthole.
Yeah.
Maybe massage it around a little bit. Like I give
Wow.
this assignment. I know. I get a little leeway at my school.
No, I love this. I'm like, do I need to go back to school?
You should.
No,
My
because I've always
class,
been
come
intrigued.
over.
Yeah, I've always been
Yeah.
really intrigued by sex and like the mindset behind it and why people are so scared of
Yeah.
it. Even though everyone has those desires, you know?
Yeah.
So I think there's something really important also about like not having so much shame in our vaginas, right? Like a lot of women I know have never had an orgasm. Like, talk a little bit about that. Do you run into that a lot? Like women who have not come?
Yeah, that's a very common problem. And it is not a problem unless you think it's a problem. So if you feel like you're completely happy having clitoral orgasm, because clitoral orgasm is fucking bomb, like
It's a bomb.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you're cool with consistently having clitoral orgasm and not vaginally, like you're totally good.
Some women don't ever
no
have it,
shame in that.
right?
You never
Yeah.
have to seek out vaginal orgasm ever again. But if it's distressing for you, if you're curious, if you desire to have vaginal orgasm, then let's embark on a journey, right? And going back to your question of like, how do people start feeling more comfortable? I have 3 different practices that I highly recommend every single person I come across.
Okay.
The first thing is sexual meditation. And there's a lot of research from nowadays, a lot of different sexologists study sexual meditation, but back quite like 5 years ago, a lot of the research comes out of University of British Columbia from Dr. Laurie Brotto's lab. And she studied different meditation protocols, different mindfulness practices protocols, and see how much it helps people with their sex issues. And listen to this. Sexual meditation is extremely beneficial to all people who have any kind of sex issue, including people who have pain in their vagina, including people who are ashamed or experiencing a lot of shame with their body, with their genitals, including people who have had cancer, who had 0 sex drive and no sexual desire, to build their sexual desire again. So sexual meditation is extremely powerful, and that's the first practice that I would recommend anybody to try. I have guided sexual meditation on YouTube. It's only 5 minutes.
It's just
Try it. Yeah,
It's just you
something
going,
like that. It's like, now touch your nipples.
Yeah.
Like, now massage your nipples.
I love
now
that.
move down to your pubic area, massage your pubic area. Imagine coming, things like that.
Yeah, I think it's so much about bringing yourself to the present, right?
Yeah.
And using breath to do that, and also oxygen to your brain
Yeah.
too, which I think we get in our heads about like, I should look like this or I should look like that, and you're not really present. So anything that brings people really present, I think, is an incredible thing.
Sexual meditation. And interesting when you mentioned breathing, because a lot of men, a lot of young men that I meet, they do a lot of mouth breathing. And you know what also happens to them is they experience ED, erectile dysfunction. Wow. It's because you need to breathe through your nose.
Lack of the oxygen in your...
Yeah, you need to breathe through your nose. For men, literally nose breathing, there is like a direct line to the penis.
No way.
So if you want harder dicks, like
breathe,
you
bitch.
do a lot more breath work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been taping my mouth at night.
I've been doing that
and I'm
too.
kind of enjoying it. I'm nervous about like the tape material, but like I think I sleep harder.
I kind of like it.
Yeah,
it's probably
me
my
too.
BDSM tendency.
Me too. I kind of like being like, just like, shut the fuck up. What is like the number one anxiety that you like women kind of come to you with, or like insecurity?
It's not feeling confident in their body shape and sizes.
Media.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
not being present and like in themselves, like feeling like insecure about their the way they look.
They don't feel comfortable with the body that they have currently. There's always like some kind of goal, and you can't be happy until you get there. And not to shame goals, because goals are great, but you can also be happy now and also be happy when you get to your goal. So you can always just be happy with what you have. And that's why I practice what is called body neutrality rather than body positivity. Body positivity to me has too much pressure. Like every day I gotta fucking celebrate my body. Like some days I don't feel good, right? Like my first day of period, like I'm not celebrating. So what I really love is body neutrality and just loving my body for its function. Like, thank you. I write in my journal. So my second practice that I would recommend is writing in your journal positive sexual affirmations.
I love that.
So I go, I'm grateful for my vagina. I'm grateful for my titties. I love my body. I appreciate, my feet for taking me to places. I appreciate my brain for giving me witty jokes.
My fingers for being so strong.
Exactly. Yeah. So just appreciating your body for what it is and not necessarily like extreme celebratory for body. That's just my perspective. But I appreciate people who practice body positivity too.
Yeah, no, I love that. Just being like aware. I mean, I'm on the thank you train right now. Like, I just say thank you all the time.
I'm thankful for my body, and like I'm good with it.
And women should feel good wherever they are. It's so funny because I think we're always insecure about the other person and what we think. It's like they're having sex with you.
Yeah.
They're into you. Like sometimes I was insecure, like especially with women, and I'm like, she's naked with me. Like,
she what likes really you. Helps with feeling really insecure with another person is the third practice that I'm going to share is doing pleasure mapping.
Okay, tell me more.
Have you done that yet?
No.
Okay, do it tonight with your girlfriend.
Well, she's in New York, but there's FaceTime. Yeah.
So pleasure mapping is a practice where you go from head to toe, massaging different body parts, and then mark down which part is more arousing than others. So I would give it like a yes, maybe, and no. So let's say if my husband's massaging the back of my ear, like I get a little horny, and I go, yes.
Yes.
Massaging, like let's say the back of my thighs, a little ticklish, not too arousing, maybe. Massaging like certain parts. I'm trying to think where I don't like armpit. I don't like armpit. So like massaging my armpit, I'm like, that's a no. So basically massaging different parts of the body and take note of what's a yes, maybe, and no. And you will literally feel like a rock star because you know your body's, like you know your own body and your partner's body so well. It increases your sexual competence by like 50%.
The more you know.
Yeah.
Ding, ding,
or else you don't know.
Yeah.
Like, do you know, like now if I ask people that are listening, like think about it. Do you know your own erogenous zones and do you know your partner's?
I love this. I'm
and
so excited for this.
And that is the cause of insecurity. You don't know enough.
Yeah. No, I totally feel that. And I think people are scared to ask, right? Like, because it makes it sound like they don't know.
And I was scared too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was scared too.
But now you can just go like, do you like this? Do you like that? I mean, I think communicating in bed is like super sexy. I overtalk probably. But she's like, can we not talk about dinner?
What do you say in bed?
I really am into naughty. Like I'm into talking in bed.
Ooh, okay,
I'm
give me like one line
my
example.
God, my girlfriend is gonna fucking kill me. But I like ask me, tell me you like it. Like I like validation in every part of my life, including sex.
So like,
tell me I'm funny. No, I'm kidding.
Like this feels so good. You're so good at eating me out.
This is for you. Yeah, like I'm your type of thing.
Oh, so you like ownership.
I like knowing that they want me and that it's for me or like it's for them. Like I
Do you
like
have
that.
siblings?
I have a sibling, yeah.
Older or younger?
Younger.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense.
And I had to share everything. So this is just
that's
mine.
why.
Yeah. I love that, breaking it down. I don't want to think about my sister while I have sex, but okay. So walk me through like one of the biggest mistakes couples have in sex life. Obviously communication, but what's another like red flaggy that you see all the time?
Well, it kind of goes back to communication, but it's not communicating each other's expectations. Because when you're in a relationship, you have expectations. There's this theory called expectancy violations theory. And when you, it's long, right?
Yeah.
But simply, like, all humans have expectations. And when you don't communicate them, you end up being disappointed. That's all. So you should communicate your expectations in a way where you can compromise and like talk about what should be the solution, right? The main problem I see is, people like frequency, sexual frequency. One person will be like, I would love to have sex 4 times a week. The other person was like, oh, I can do it once a week max. So how do we compromise? 4 minus 1 equals 3. 3 is the discrepancy number. So how do we solve the 3? What can happen that will help two people
Both
feel
people.
happier with the 3 discrepancy?
Right.
And usually it's so simple too. It's like one hand job, right?
Like write it out.
A massage. Like it's, when people like overthink a lot, I think they attach like too much value to
They
like,
attach like love
sex
to
is
it,
fun. Sex is fun. It's dynamic. We change all the time. Sometimes you fart.
I love that you're so open with farting.
Yeah.
If I farted, I'd be done.
I'm like an
done
IBS
forever.
girly, so
really, I'd be done. Like I couldn't even talk about poop early in my relationship. I'd be like, but what are you saying? Now, obviously, we talk about it, but
it might be my kink.
It might be your kink.
Might be.
You're just like,
I have 2 kinks, fart and power.
I like power too.
Yeah. My whole pass is Obama. I'm like,
for him or
if
for
he
you?
wants to fuck me, I'm gonna fuck him. My husband knows. I'm into power. Like people in power position, I'm like, ooh.
Right. That's sexy to me too. I really like powerful people. Also like getting to see that side of them that nobody else gets to see.
Exactly.
So often like I really do like shy people because I like get to see a side
and
of them.
They're usually the kinkiest.
They are like the freakiest. The calmer and quieter they are, the weirder they are. Yeah. So that's interesting. Are you into any other kind of like weirdy kinky stuff that people like?
I mean, I like my toes sucked.
I like toes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I feel like
that
there's a
feels
lot
so
of
good.
nerve endings in your feet. It's like reflexology. Like why go to East Hollywood, pay $20 when your husband can like suck your toes and
I know. I
give
do
you
love getting a massage.
reflexology.
I do get like way too like, thank you. Like the lady's like, relax. Yeah, I love getting like a massage on my legs.
Does your girlfriend do that for you?
She does, but she's not as good as like the lady down the street at the nail place. She's not. I'm sorry. T is just my girl. T, if you're watching this, I love your girl.
Do you have you ever done temperature play?
No. Oh, like with ice or with heat or with candle wax?
Yeah.
No. There's so much stuff we still got to get to.
It's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun. And I think it's just, that's like a beginner's play, I feel, to try different things other than like oral, hand stuff and penetration.
Right. Those almost sound
because
boring now.
everyone has eyes at home.
Yeah.
And you can easily get like a massage candle or
And if they don't have ice, like you shouldn't be having sex with them. Like get an ice tray, get your life together.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you get older couples or like people like that are like, maybe in their 60s or higher that like are struggling with like this new chapter in their life and they still want to have sex? Because I hear there's a lot of like STDs in nursing homes.
Yeah.
Because people are just fucking, they don't care about getting pregnant anymore.
I wouldn't care either.
Yeah, I wouldn't care either. Do you have like tips for people who are like coming into their older age and they maybe feel insecure about their bodies or like they have less libido? Like
It's
what
the
would you
best
tell them?
time to try Tantra.
Yeah.
Yeah. I see whenever I go to like these Tantra like workshops or retreats, I see their demographics. It's like 55 plus and they are seeking for something else, something new, something different. I mean, imagine being with the same person for the last 20, 30 years.
Nothing.
Like they want to try something new. So venturing into something like Tantra, which is the Eastern philosophy of sexuality and energy and passion, I think is very interesting. And I myself just had ventured into it only like the last 5 years, and it's been just incredible. Sometimes I can come with just like my husband being inside and not moving.
I love
because
that.
I can feel his energy, and he can move, like he can
when you flex
make
kind
his
of
penis. Yeah.
Wait, go like this. I don't want you to get mad at me later, so I didn't fix it. You just moved it, so I just want you to know.
Thank you.
I'm there for
what
you.
a girl's girl.
Yeah. I like that. Sometimes when I lay on top of my partner and like our vaginas are just touching, I can feel like the
heat,
the kind of like heat, like the energy. Yeah. So that's cool. So step one,
it's like quantum sex.
Yeah.
I can get super woo woo. I'm like
I like that stuff.
I'm like a marriage of like Eastern and Western philosophy, because it's like I'm Western trained, so I know like the research and all that, but Eastern stuff's like fascinating. And I mean, Kama Sutra is thousands of years old.
I love those little posters of those little Inca gods just like in weird positions. I'm like,
I know, like upside down. I'm
like, this is a lot of work. No, it's interesting what your body tells you, because as I said, like even when I was like having hetero sex, it hurt.
Really?
Like even if I was having sex that was like slow or like, my vagina was like
was it like vaginismus or was it
no, it just
mental?
Like, it was maybe mental. Like it would just, my vagina would just hurt. Like it wasn't like inside or outside. It was just like as a whole. Like I could really feel my vagina.
You just didn't like men.
I just didn't like men this whole time. And I was like boy crazy. You know what I mean? I think it was just like an act. Like I really put it on.
Society definitely like taught us to be boy crazy since we're young, you know? I mean, all the Disney movies.
Yeah, I was gonna say, where are the Disney lesbian princesses? Don't anybody make their, I'm gonna do it.
Is there?
They're saying that Elsa's gay now.
Moana?
Moana's definitely
Is she gay?
She's definitely gay.
Okay.
That's Zendaya in the movie, so.
What about Lilo and Stitch? Are they gay?
I feel like the two guys in, what's that one where they're like in Italy?
What?
Guys?
There's
two
Disney.
Boys? What is it?
Disney?
Luca, it's Pixar. I think they're gay. And then I think Elsa's gay from Frozen.
I hope.
She just sits in that house all by herself, freezing stuff. That's so gay.
She's a power top.
Yeah, she's definitely a power top.
Yeah.
And that's what would happen with men. I became a power bottom. I was just like on the bottom, edging up. Huh.
Look at that. Our bodies are so intelligent, and when something happens, it's like it tells us, you know. That's why like when you do experience like yeast infection or like whatever it is down there, like it will tell you, just listen and then find a cure. Don't freak out.
Yeah, that's your body being like, no, don't do that. Do you come across women like after they had kids and they're having a hard time with sex? Like what's some advice with that?
You know, it's extremely common and okay to not want to have sex the first year after you give birth.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say that out loud.
Yeah.
Because medical doctors will tell you 6 weeks. And a lot of women told me like, hell no, not after 6 weeks. Not the vagina, not mentally, not with a baby crying and changing like, you know, poopy diapers.
Yeah.
Like, so.
Whoa, don't get into your kink.
It's just fart, not poop.
How dare I? I'm
just
so sorry.
Air.
Just air.
I'm into gas, not something else. But I would say we should normalize just like the first year will be rough, so that the husbands and the other woman partner knows. Like
I
just
talk about
everyone
that all
knows.
the time. Yeah, just having also like just letting women chill. Like on our periods,
6
we don't
weeks
need to
so
go to
short.
karate. Like, you know what I mean? We can chill. Like,
Yeah.
I think as women, we just have to chill more. Like that should be a shirt.
The
Just
more
fucking
chill you are, the higher your sexual desire will be. Like Emily Nagoski, actually, the author of Come As You Are, talks about that a lot. It's like stress is your number one libido killer. Number one. Like nothing else. Just your stress. If you can control and manage your stress, you're way more likely to have a great sex life.
Now, I hate to talk about this now. Not hate to talk about it. It's all I talk about. I'm going through perimenopause. And one of the things, obviously, is lower libido. I went to a lesbian party. There was a stripper. She brought out a cake. And I was like, ooh, cake. Like, I didn't even notice there was a stripper. Like, I was just into the cake. And that's how I was like, this is a problem. Old me would have been like,
or not.
Or not. Now I'm into other things.
Cake's good.
But I've noticed that, like, I'm more into like romance now than I am like the physicality of sex. Like I want to feel like really protected and like really loved, but I think it's scary because it is a transition. Like, have you worked with women going through perimenopause and like hormones and talk a little bit about that?
A lot of it is like gaining self-acceptance again. a lot of perimenopausal and menopausal women want to change back to where they were.
I do. I'm like my youth. I'm mourning like the old me right now. That's what I'm going through.
But there's no going back.
There's no going back.
There's only moving forward in a way that's suitable for you now. So when people are going through perimenopausal and menopausal period, it's very important to gain self-acceptance for yourself. And that can be through so many different practices, like, positive self-talk.
But I hate me. I'm a comic, so like the cynic in me is like, don't do this. No, but I
guess if you love yourself, you can't be a comic because all comics hate themselves.
Or they like
the self-deprecation is necessary for
Or they're like narcissists and they're like, I'm the best person in the world,
Yeah.
That was an impression of someone, if you know, you know. Just like, okay, positive self-talk is something that you can do, but like, are there other things? Like, I just feel like my body feels so different. Like I feel so outside of myself and like, I've never really cared about like, I've always been one shape. Now I notice like cellulite and like, things like that, that they are hard to like accept and go like, okay, I'm never going to be this old version. Also, I don't feel the things I used to feel. Who the fuck am I? Like, so how do you find yourself again in that sort of mess?
Two things.
Okay.
Therapy and dancing.
I've been dancing a lot.
Yeah.
I'm a Zumba girl.
Yeah.
It's literally the only time I feel good is when I'm dancing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like this is going to help a lot of women watching this.
Research found that movement helps you feel much better about your body and accept yourself. Dancing is the best way to get closer to happiness than like anything else. So if you're home alone, blast your favorite song and just like move around in however you like ecstatic dance, right? Like no choreo, like just move around however you like. No one's watching. That will help you.
Yeah. My God, that's so cool. It's so funny because it's like you don't even know how you get to these things, but they feel good and you're like, okay, I'm doing it.
Yeah. And there's this one thing that I learned a few years ago that I really love is somatic sex therapy.
Tell me more.
So apart from talk therapy, right? Sex therapy, it's talk therapy. So it's like regular therapy, but you talk about sex. So sex therapy is just talking. But a lot of sex is visceral. It's physical and visceral. It's not cerebral. It's not something that you can talk about. It's not just about thought, right? It's about feeling in your body. So I really love these two new modalities. Well, let me correct. It's not new. It's old, but it's new to us, like the Western world. Yeah. But one is somatic sex therapy. Another one is sexological body work. So somatic sex therapy is through touch. So a somatic therapist can work through your body and where you have pain, where you have mental block, where you hate yourself, where you and work.
Do you think that we trap trauma in our bodies and that's a lot of the reason why we can't come?
The hips. Yeah. Wow. For females, a lot of like trauma in the hips. And that's why like yoga, movement, very important, but also somatic therapy, very interesting. But somatic therapy is one-way touch. So the therapist touches you. Sexological body work is two-way touch. And it is completely legal because people often ask me, is it prostitution? I'm like, no, but it's like it functions similarly in a way that it's like you're having sex or like the person maybe touching your vagina or penis and you can touch them. So it's sex work, but it's legal because it's a part of sex therapy.
Wow.
Sexological body workers are certified. So you have to find like legit ones that are certified.
Whoa.
And you're allowed to touch them, they're allowed to touch you, and you work through whatever your trauma or your pain or your mental block that way. I'm gonna tell you a powerful story that I heard about a sexological body worker. I interviewed her for my podcast, and she worked with this disabled man. He's in his 40s. Never had sex, had been disabled his whole life, never had a girlfriend, never had a love interest, never experience love or affectionate touch. He learned about her practice and then was able to get an appointment. The very first time that he came in and they went through the session where she helped him get naked and lay on the bed and she gets naked and just lay on his chest, he started crying. Mm-hmm. And he was crying and crying for 30 minutes for the whole session. Because he's like, I never knew what this feels like, and it's extremely powerful for me. And you see how like sometimes sex work is just so extremely powerful comparing to talking, right? That man can be talking to a therapist forever, but it's not going to be the same as a sexological body worker touching him. So yeah, moral of the story is like all things sex should be legal.
Yeah, I think about that all the time because I think there is like a divide between men and women, right? As long as men can purchase a woman and treat them like shit, like there's always going to be a divide of power and like a divide of worth.
About, like escorts.
Right, like a divide of worth, right? And like I think women should do whatever they want. I'm not against it at all. But like how do we like draw that line where it's like educational and like helpful and like it helps repress men not like be violent, you know? How do we do it? Like in a
slowly but surely.
Right.
Yeah, I think positive, comprehensive sex education, and then also less of cancel culture. Because there are these misguided young men, right? They are teenagers. They're in like shapeable form. They're either following this toxic bald man who now is in Eastern Europe, or they're following people like us.
Yeah.
And they become more sex positive. They understand that the world needs, you know, different genders and gender expressions and sexual orientations, and they just become slowly more and more sex positive. So I think, yeah, the world just needs more like understanding and education.
Yeah, so much more sex ed, right? Like, why don't we learn anything? Like, why didn't I know what perimenopause was until it started happening to me? Like, I don't think I'm an uneducated person, but it was like, and I'm telling all my friends now, and people have never heard of it. It's like, if we had just learned about that instead of like, I remember I learned how to like make pancakes in school. There was like a home ed. I'm like, I learned how to sew, but I don't know anything about perimenopause. Like,
same.
You know, like I remember I was in this like sex group that we taught women that they have to pee after sex. You guys have to pee after sex. Everybody has to pee after sex.
Yes.
Even if you just like put anything in there, you have to pee. Like, why is that not taught in school? Is it because teachers are nervous about like crossing a line? Like, what is it?
It's a systemic problem.
Right.
It's not the teacher's problem. It's a systemic problem. The teacher is not allowed to teach certain things. So in America, obviously we have like Secretary of Education, and they decide a lot federally what goes into sex education.
Right. Remember that last woman who was like, "Oh yeah,
the short hair woman, yeah." And then the state also has regulations on its own. So California, actually not too bad. We have some kind of sex education. Some school, private school, for example, can choose for themselves. Like private schools can have positive, comprehensive sex education. We see that in some like what is it called? Montessori school, like where it's very
rich
like
hippie schools. Love it. Yeah.
So they will have that comprehensive sex ed, but a lot of like state schools, like they don't have the money to like hire qualified
because there's no
people
secular. It's all church driven, right?
Yeah. So it's really hard because the teachers may want to teach, but you're not allowed because it's not a part of curriculum. So we really have to change it at like the state level. And what people can do is like, you know, when it's time to vote or when it's time to, you know, sign a petition about having sex ed in school, like sign it.
Yeah. No, I think that's really important. It all stems from that, right? Lack of education,
it's
lack of
all
knowledge.
like systemic problem. It's really hard. That's why like as individuals, we can be like as loud as possible and try to reach as many people as possible.
Yeah.
And that's all we can do.
Yeah, right? I'm just wasting my time with these vagina jokes. I need to inform people. Like I'm just doing stand-up.
Inform people. Yeah. Humor is the best way to get into like someone's sexuality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we decided we're gonna like fuck, marry, kill for every episode.
Okay, let's do it.
fuck, marry, kill with
I'm a bit nervous.
with anal, doggy, and what should be the third one?
Oh, I thought it's usually like people.
Yeah, but this is more twisty because you're a sex
I
therapist.
see.
So like people would be boring. You know what I mean?
Obama.
I feel like you're just like, I would fuck Obama. Well, hello, Dr. Tara. Okay, fuck, marry, kill. What's a fun one? Okay, I guess fuck, marry, kill. Missionary, doggy, and anal. You know what missionary, right? Am I saying it right? Missionary is like just on top?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to marry missionary.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. I'm going to fuck doggy.
Okay, nice.
That's my favorite.
Really?
Yeah. And then I'm going to have to kill anal.
Yeah,
Too
not
much
for
work.
me. Too much work.
I actually like it. It's just the work part.
Like
if I have
lubed.
time, if I'm on vacation, if we have 2 beds, like, yeah.
2 beds?
So I'm not gonna sleep in my anal bed. Like, if I'm at a hotel, I have 2 beds. Like, we always get 2 beds.
Right, one for the butt
You can
juice.
request, like, one for the butt juice. You
yeah.
can request 1 king bed or 2 queen beds.
Yeah, you're
I
like
always do 2 queen beds. Like, one is my anal bed and one is my sleep bed.
Because there's so much prep, right? Like,
Yeah.
you have to
and
prep,
if
you
there's
have to
like
turkey
juice in
base.
it, I'm not sleeping in it. I'm a clean girl.
I love that. Like, if there's squirt juice too.
Any kind of juice.
No juice.
Not just my juice, his juice.
Do you?
I mean, I get in his butt too.
Oh, good. I love that.
So like,
Equal
if there's
opportunities.
any kind of juice, I don't sleep
You're
in
not
it.
sleeping in that bed.
No. I
poor
feel like the
maids.
Hiltons like know when I like come. It's like, oh, this last name, like she's gonna request 2 beds, and like it's always like leaving it really wet.
Wait, do you have one of those like waterproof blankets? Do you pack one of them?
No, I paid for the room.
Right, you're right. That's what they're for. The sheets
Yes.
are there to get dirty.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have any prep that you recommend for the women who are like trying anal for the first time? I only had it once and it felt like I was like getting split in half. Like it was not for me. Like I like a finger, but I don't like a whole member.
Yeah, no.
I like
know.
pressure on it.
I like pressure too.
Yeah.
So yeah, pressure would be
Yeah.
my tip. It's like apart from obviously washing it really well with light soapy water
Yeah.
and then rinse it really well. And if you want, you can douche a little bit, not too deep.
Not
you
too
can-
deep, guys.
Never too deep.
Yeah.
You can also do coconut oil warmed up and then have your partner massage it this way.
Oh, that's good.
Around the hole, then it expands because with heat it expands, right? When it's cold, it tightens.
This is great.
Yeah, you never want
Yeah.
to have anal in the cold.
No alleyways. These gays got it wrong.
No alleyways, no
Yeah.
snow. Like
Yeah.
if it's snowing, I'm not having anal. Like anal is summertime
That's a greeting
only.
card. Yeah.
it's
That's
hot
so
weather.
funny.
It's like loose butthole. Like I'm down.
Love it. Wait, and then do you scoop? Like when you shower, do you go in there and clean it out? Because this is a debate I've been having with a lot of people. I'm a scooper.
Butthole or vagina?
No, vagina.
Oh,
We moved,
no.
Sorry, we moved to vagina. You don't scoop.
No.
What's your idea behind not scooping? Like, why do you not? Why are you
it's just
anti-scoop?
personal preference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You like
I
to
don't
keep
have
it up.
anything against it. Like people can do it, but
Yeah.
I just don't.
Interesting.
I don't wash myself that often either.
What you really like? I mean, like
Yeah.
soapy. Obviously, I don't like to soap.
I
a lot, though.
haven't showered for like many days.
Stop. Really?
Yeah.
You look so clean.
Thanks. My
Wait,
Yeah.
I think you're a little bit. It's a little hypocritical. You don't like butt juice anywhere near you, but you're like.
But I don't shower, no. Like I don't shower for a long time. My husband and I don't shower. Like we shower
Really?
maybe like once a week.
What
Yeah.
is that? You just don't like showering?
We just like each other's scent.
I love
We're
that.
like animalistic like that.
You
Like,
know, it's funny,
I
like-
like when he's a little stinky.
I
and
like
get in
that's
there.
a new thing for me
Yeah.
because like I was very.
I think it's for old people.
Yeah,
I think
maybe
it's because we're getting
older.
old.
Like when I first met my girlfriend, she didn't wear deodorant, and it was a thing for me. I was
Mm.
like, she doesn't wear deodorant. Like I was telling my friends, and then now when she smells, it's like immediately I'm like
Hot,
horny. Horny
yeah.
immediately. Like
You know
when other
the-
people smell, I'm like, is that my girlfriend? Like
Do
I
you
like
want
the
the
smell.
explanation?
Please.
I think it's so if you think of it through evolutionary theory lens.
Yeah.
Okay. When we were like cave people, when someone like goes out and do work, like go hunt for a meal, like
Yeah.
hunt a boar, comes back with a boar, right? They fucking smell bad, right?
Yeah.
They don't smell good. They smell
No.
bad because they worked all day.
Right.
And you want to like fuck them and like
Yeah.
have them like impregnate you, right? Because that's
Yeah, because they
evolutionary theory.
they can hunt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's why.
I love that.
Yeah, and that's why like after people go to the gym, I want to
Yeah.
have sex after the gym because
Yeah.
it just smells like
I
they
like
just went
salty
out
skin, too.
and got a boar.
He really just lifted some weight. So you're like, he got a boar.
yeah, he got a boar, maybe even a lion. Who knows?
Yeah.
But you know, just like I think that there is a reason why he just smells so much better to me when he doesn't like shower all
I
the
like
time.
that you guys are
Also-
collectively stinky. Like the
We
couple that
are,
doesn't
yeah.
shower together.
I don't think I'm stinky.
I
I
smell
think my
so
body
bad.
has adjusted to not showering.
Interesting. Yeah, because I think the
but
more
we
you
also have a
shower-
bidet, so I do rinse my vag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love a bidet. When
you
the woman
gotta.
who sold me my house was like, you're gonna love the bidet. And I was like, oh,
Amazing.
like, and she's like, you're gonna love it. I was like, okay, take
It's
it
so
easy.
important.
Yeah,
She's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I've
She
used
was
it
like
many
way
times.
too into it.
Brush
Yeah.
my teeth with it.
Yeah, no, I love the bidet. Because I'm Brazilian, that's the thing. We like wash
It
our
is
butts.
a thing.
Yeah.
Same with in Thailand.
Yeah.
So when I first came to America, I'm like, you guys all walk around with dirty buttholes.
They do.
Like every time I see an American, like you probably have a dirty butthole.
He looks so clean to me.
All Americans that don't have a bidet, they have dirty buttholes.
I like that you're shaming everybody, but you haven't showered in a week.
I haven't showered in a week. It's okay. You can shame me.
You look amazing. I don't know. How does your hair? Do you have shampoo? Dry shampoo?
Yeah,
that's your trick.
Yeah.
What's your number one sex move? Like, what's your go-to?
Like with my partner, balls in my mouth.
Both?
Yeah.
Nice.
Have you seen my mouth? It's big.
It's big. Do you have any tongue tricks? I have some tongue tricks.
Yeah.
What do you got?
I like twirl the balls around.
Oh,
Sometimes he gets ballgasm.
Really?
Did you know you can get ballgasm?
No.
Well, not you.
No.
Unless you have balls.
I wish. I wish I just had a pussy and balls. That would be sick.
Oh, I would love that.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that would be sick.
Oh my God. New king unlocked.
I wish that my clit had tiny balls. And then it was like inside the flaps. Yeah.
You can always get a piercing that's like 2 little balls.
That's cute.
Like cherries.
I'm scared to get, I hooked up with a guy who had a piercing, and when I was sucking his dick, it felt like the piercing was going to get stuck like deep in my throat. It was scary.
Okay, that is scary.
Yeah, I was like, never again.
That's scary.
You know who you are.
Yeah, you can have ballgasm.
That's great.
Because the ball is like very sensitive, arousing, erogenous zone. So with the right moves, you can have ballgasm.
And what's your favorite thing that he does? You're like, pay the bills. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. He's really good at making me squirt through fingering. And I love squirting because it's just such a release for me. Like, I feel like I'm so busy. Like, when I get to squirt, it's like it's like I just got a massage. Like, if I squirt and then get a massage too, like,
that's what I'm talking about, getting a massage while somebody eats me out.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah. So he's really good at fingering me. Like, he's good at warming me up, fingering me. I squirt, like, when he fingers me, I squirt within, like, less than 5 minutes.
I love this.
Yeah, it's so efficient. Like, our sex life is very efficient.
And then do you just have to put a bunch of towels down? Like, you have to Dexter the whole room? Or is it?
I try to do it with, like, if I'm home, right? Because I don't have, like, an anal bed, which I wish I had an anal bed.
People have a designated anal bed?
Yeah, people have, like, sex rooms.
Right, I saw The Real Housewife.
The Real Housewife too, but
like
also like how to build a sex room. Like, some people have their like separate bed like for anal.
That's great. That's a commitment.
You have that
and then
kind of money.
Guest
if you
bed.
have a fuck you money, if I have fuck you money, I have bed for everything. I'll have anal bed, doggy bed, missionary bed, like ballgasm bed.
I never liked doggy because I feel like I always got filled with air, and then I would queef, and that's I'm done.
Ooh, I love queefing.
Of course you do.
Air.
It's air. Are you an air sign? What's your sign?
No, I'm a Virgo.
Whoa.
Yeah,
what
I'm
sign is that?
Grounded.
Very grounded.
Yeah. Virgo, just
Virgo grounded.
Get your
Solid.
shit done.
Yeah.
Beyonce.
Squirt in and out.
Yeah, I'm sure Beyonce squirts in 5 minutes too.
You think she
squirts?
We
share that. I think we have that in common. Just like that.
Like that?
Yeah.
Wait, let me tell you a celebrity and you tell me if you think they squirt or not.
Okay.
Christina Aguilera.
Squirts.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Britney has never come.
Doesn't squirt.
Has never come.
No.
She doesn't even know.
I
Yeah,
know.
it's sad.
Poor girl.
I know, it's bad. Sabrina Carpenter.
Squirts. She's
yeah,
freaky.
definitely squirts. I'm just telling you ones that I think squirt. Billie Eilish.
Doesn't squirt.
Doesn't squirt. And I don't think she likes her vagina touched very much. I think she's like the doer in my fantasies.
I think she's a dominatrix.
Yeah, I think she likes to be
she
in
likes
charge.
Flocking people like, psh.
I love that.
Yeah. Have you seen her and her brother do music? They're very particular.
They are.
Yeah, they're not like, let's fucking go.
Yeah.
Like, no, they're very particular, methodical. Like,
yeah.
She has to be a dominatrix.
She does.
Yeah.
I see that. Let's see. Let's do one more. You guys have any on the audience you want to ask about? Ellen DeGeneres.
Has never squirted in her life.
She doesn't squirt.
No, I don't think she can come.
She's like, have sex with me, but don't look me in the eye.
Her butthole is too clenched.
It's so clenched.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Ice Spice.
I think she squirts.
I think she squirts.
Yeah, I think she lets go.
I don't think she gives a
squirts.
shit.
No.
I think she just
let
She
like
doesn't
men
care.
eat her
Yeah.
out, and she like gives nothing.
I know.
She's like a pillow princess. She's like, here, like,
You think?
my legs are open, like, come on, and then she's like kicks them out.
You know who would be so fun to hook up with? Cardi B.
Ooh, yeah. Oh, no, but not with those nails, girl.
No, but I feel
Have you
like
seen her nails?
I know, but have you seen her mouth? I feel like she could just like, she gets it like really wet. I like wet. Like I like
Yeah.
when things are wet. I think some people like dry for the.
So do you make out very sloppy?
I love a sloppy makeout. I have a friend who likes dry kissing, and I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
I kind of like that.
You do like.
Like a.
You do? I like wet. Is that a Brazilian thing?
Yeah.
I like if anybody licks any part, I'm like, oh, like.
Yeah.
I like wet.
Is your mom the same?
What?
Well, she's Brazilian, right?
Well, I don't know about my mom's sexual preference.
You don't talk about it?
No. Hold on.
I gave my mom a vibrator for the first time.
No, we talk about sex. It's not. We're not like a close. Obviously,
No,
like you met me. Yeah,
'cause you're Brazilian. I just assume
but
you
I
guys
don't
talk
know.
about sex.
We don't talk about her sex life. But a lot I learned from my mom indirectly. Like I would watch her come out of the shower and like lotion herself. Like a lot of people don't know that they have to like lotion out of the shower. I'm like, I learned because I would like watch my mom
Look at that.
do that.
Do you lotion your like vulva, like the skin
No, should I?
surrounding it? I'm just asking.
Oh, but do you?
I do
You do?
when I shower.
With
Which is
coconut
not
oil
of-
or with
not
lotion?
often.
Oh yeah, once a week.
Yeah, coconut oil.
Coconut oil.
Yeah, just kind of like.
What's your
rub-
bush look
rub
like?
around it.
Do you have like a bush?
None. I'm a dolphin. Yeah.
Your baby.
I regret it.
Oh, did you laser everything?
Yeah. Since I was 18.
Swap.
Since like laser technology wasn't that good.
You didn't even have hair yet.
I did.
You did? You
Hairy
did?
girl. Yeah.
Yeah, me too. Super
But,
hairy.
Yeah. You see my hair, like our hair. Well,
Yeah.
you have lots of hair. So yeah.
I
When was
kept it.
So like 18 through 22, because like you have to go for like 15 sessions. Yeah. So I have zero hair anywhere.
Same.
I'm like a dolphin.
Look at me, like my legs.
Same.
But I kept a bush.
it's
You know
kinda
why?
nice, but like I miss it.
I kept the top. I have a
Yeah.
really bushy bush now, like just on top, per someone's request. And my mom's. No.
She has it
Yeah.
too.
I was at the laser place and Cameron Diaz has a body book. Like,
What?
Yeah. It's called like The Body Experience or something. Don't quote me. It was a long time ago. And she was like, one of my biggest regrets was lasering my whole bush because my vagina's gotten older. Was it Cameron? Don't
wrinkly?
quote me on this, but I remember reading this book and I was like, I'm not going to get the whole bush. I'm just going to get the Brazilian bush.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know. I regret it. I wish I had.
But it will grow
the bush.
nothing, or do you get
No.
random strays? That's what I get.
Nothing.
When it
Like-
grows back on my armpit, it's like just one really long hair. I'm like, Jesus, what is this?
Do you like that?
What? I love plucking hairs. Like, I love plucking a hair out. Not in a sexual way, but it's like very satisfying to me.
Yeah, it's like the bubble wrap.
Yeah, like I
Yeah.
love like, oh my God, if I got an ingrown, I haven't gotten an ingrown in a long time because I don't wax
But
anymore.
you don't like hair for sex?
I like hair now, but I didn't when I was hetero.
A lot of people like hair.
I like
I
hair
have
now.
like a lot of, I would say mainly like men that are like, oh, I like hairy women. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
you never hear that in pop culture.
No, it's a new
But
thing.
in real life, there's a lot of men that like hairy
Yeah.
women, which is so interesting. Because
love
then,
it.
like, all the women, like, they go get laser hair removal, they get wax and this and that. But, like, interesting.
I love hairy armpits. I think they're so hot. Is there, I mean, because you're very open, I'm very open. Is there a time that you were ever shocked by something that you heard or someone that came to you or like something that you saw? Does anything shock you or not really?
Not really.
Yeah.
But you know what actually shocked me? And I'm going to tell you this story and you might be angry.
Why? Did you fuck my mom?
Yes.
Okay.
Where does she live?
Yeah. You're like, that's why I asked about
I'll
the
come with my
thing.
suitcase of toys.
Yeah.
We can try different things. But
Yeah.
no. So what actually shocked me is one of my clients who is hypersexual.
Yeah.
He was engaged and he came to me. He's ashamed but can't stop. He was fucking two of the bride's best friends
Oh my God.
and the wedding planner.
Oh my God.
And the day of the wedding, he fucked the wedding coordinator in the bathroom.
What fucking wedding coordinator is having sex with the groom the day of?
Apparently 5 stars on Yelp.
Wow. And did the woman ever find out?
And it's not my place to say.
No,
because
never,
in my
never.
practice, it's
Yeah.
confidentiality. So yeah.
Is that just like one of those like craziness?
problem.
It's a problem.
Yeah, it's a problem.
It's an
and
addiction.
he needs to see a more like serious, like maybe a psychiatrist or something like that. But it's a problem because he still does.
Does he feel bad
And he just comes to
after?
me to like confess.
Does he feel bad after? I have friends like that who are like, I just gotta
I'm
tell
just
you I'm cheating.
I'm like a priest.
Right.
Like he just books a session, talks through like all his like misdeeds and then leave. And like doesn't allow me to like help him. No, just wants to tell someone. So I get paid to just like listen to all these like sexapates and feel bad for his wife. Can't really say anything.
Do you think she has any inkling?
I mean, he's fucking the nanny right now. So
oh my God.
He fucks everyone. It's so crazy. He fucks his assistant. He has like 3 assistants. Fuck all of them.
Who are these women who are also like into it? They just think it's a one time and done.
He's very charismatic.
Oh my God.
He's a CEO. Is known.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's a power thing, right? It's a control thing.
He's a sex addict. He's like a hypersexual and just needs help.
Wow, I always thought sex addict was just like, okay, get a real addiction, but it's real. People really actually.
It's not in the DSM, so like it's not in our manual.
Right.
The clinical term is hypersexuality.
Wow, hypersexuality. Okay, and then you were talking about like men really liking hairy women and not like really admitting it. Are there like things that women find really attractive in men that they're like a little scared to talk about?
Buttholes.
I always wanted to touch buttholes.
Yeah.
I thought it was because I wanted to touch a vagina, but
no, like a lot of women I talk to want to like touch their boyfriend's buttholes. They want to touch it. They want to put a finger in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to shave.
They don't
want
to lick it though.
Yeah. I don't want to like a boy's butthole.
No.
A girl's, every day, all day.
What's the difference?
I just feel like men are a little less
hygienic.
Yeah, like
do you guys have that product like men's butt like a
butt
cleaner?
Cream? Yeah, butt wipes.
Yeah.
I
feel like that would be lucrative.
I feel like some guys are really anal with that. Get it? Interesting. I feel like there's been so much good stuff, you know? For people who are really shy and they don't know how to ask, like, how do you ask for what you want in bed? Like, is it a conversation you have before you go into things? Like, is it something you do during? Like, what's some advice for people who are scared?
Yes. Start with asking for what you want outside of bed.
That's so good.
Yeah. For example, if you're sitting down and you know you're gonna go get up and make tea, ask them to make tea for you. Hey babe, can you please make tea for me? I really want a cup of tea. Ask for stuff outside of the bedroom first.
That's great advice.
Because if you've never asked for stuff and like you wanna go advanced level and ask for like, you know, something, it's too hard.
You can't go level 3.
Get comfortable with just asking for things. And then you move to talking about what you want in bed outside of the bedroom. So before.
I love that. Awesome. I mean, I don't know how, I feel like I wish I could just fart on you at the end just to make it like very complete, but I don't have one in me right now. But
yeah, you can.
Release Jade.
There's a massage like this. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyone has Theragun.
Oh, it's really a Theragun?
That's what I do.
Good?
Yeah, I Theragun myself.
Wait,
with this.
we have to be done, but really quick, are there tips for if you want to squirt besides just like releasing, like specifically with like if you finger yourself? Can you make yourself squirt?
Yeah. Yeah. It's harder though. It's like multitasking.
I love a challenge.
Multitasking.
One in, one out.
It's so hard.
It's so hard.
Yeah, but
I
you
feel
can.
Like I cramp. Yeah.
I would say a tip would be practice peeing and stopping on the toilet.
Done.
Yeah.
Okay.
That because it's like kind of similar mechanism.
Okay.
Like pee really hard, like psh, and then it's like stop it really fast, and then pee again and stop it really fast. It's kind of the same mechanism.
And with that, you guys, we stirred it up. I mean, it couldn't get any better. Tell people where they can find you.
You can find me at lovebites.co. That's LUVBITES.co. My website is lovebites.co. Instagram, TikTok, lovebites.co. See you there.
Yes, and keep an eye out for the brand new Love Line. So exciting. A classic I called in a long time ago. I wanted to ask about nipple hairs, but then I got nervous and I was like, what do you do when you're jealous of your friends? I'm Jade Catapretta. Make sure to follow me and O Positiv on all our socials. Like, comment, do all the good stuff, and we'll see you soon. Bye.